Bills Mafia training camp is less than 3 weeks away, and the roster decisions are about to get real. Today, we are talking about a player who could quietly become one of the most important pieces of this offense in 2026, and then we are breaking down 5 Bills players who are genuinely on the chopping block as the roster gets trimmed down to 53. Let us get into it. Ben Van Sumeren is the name you need to know, and the story behind him is genuinely compelling. He came into the NFL as a 2023 undrafted free agent from Michigan State, originally enrolled at Michigan as a fullback before converting to linebacker, and spent 3 seasons with the Eagles playing both positions. He was part of a Super Bowl winning organization in Philadelphia. Then last year, on literally the first play of the season, the opening kickoff, he tore cartilage in his lower body and missed the entire year. He did not get a single fullback rep in 2025. Now he is in Buffalo, and the timing of this acquisition matters enormously because the Bills just lost Reggie Gilliam to the Patriots this offseason. Gilliam was not just a fullback, he was a significant piece of why James Cook had the kind of run game success he did. Cook led the entire NFL in yards before contact last season, and Gilliam was a major reason those lanes existed. Tim Graham at The Athletic specifically identified Van Sumeren as one of the Bills' more intriguing additions precisely because of his background in Philly's offense. Buffalo has become a tush-push team, and having a fullback with direct experience executing that play in the system that essentially perfected it gives Van Sumeren a genuine edge. The camp competition between him and Udfa Jackson-Aker from Wisconsin is real. Aker has the connection to defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard from his Wisconsin days. But Aker has not participated in any spring activities due to injury, which is not ideal for an undrafted free agent trying to make a 53-man roster. Van Sumeren should win this job if healthy. Joe Brady has said the Bills are not guaranteed to go into the season with a fullback, which is technically true but would be a mistake given everything this offense is built around. Brady consistently had Gilliam on the field even when he had questions about how the offense was being deployed last year. Expect that preference to continue with Van Sumeren once he demonstrates he can execute the role. Now to the 5 cut candidates, and some of these will generate real debate. Josh Palmer leads the list as a surprising inclusion, but the case for cutting him is real. He has missed 14 games over the last 3 seasons, has not been particularly effective when available, and carries a $10 million price tag that is hard to justify for what amounts to a 4th receiver who may or may not be healthy. The Bills saved $2.5 million by moving on from him, and Skylar Bell has shown genuine promise in the spring. Palmer feels expendable at this price. Damar Hamlin at safety is painful to say given his personal story and the connection he has built with his fan base, but the safety group has been completely overhauled. The Bills came into 2025 with arguably the worst safety room in football. Now with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cole Bishop taking a real step forward in year 2, Jalen Kilgore drafted, Sam Franklin Jr., showing hustle and Geno Stone available as a dime package safety, there simply is not a clear role for Hamlin anymore beyond being a story rather than a meaningful contributor. Cedric Van Pran Granger on the offensive line feels like the odd man out with the additions of Austin Corbett and Lloyd Cushenberry, bringing real starting experience to the interior. He has been in trade rumors repeatedly and has never fully established himself as a consistent starter. With the offensive line group now more crowded than it was, his path to the 53 is narrow. Mitch Wishnowsky as the incumbent punter is genuinely on the chopping block because the Bills drafted Tommy Dolman specifically to compete for that job. Wishnowsky was 28th out of 33 qualified punters in yards per punt in 2025, had 4 bad punts from short fields in 6 tries, the exact situations where you need your punter most, and does not handle kickoffs. Dolman averages 44 yards per punt, had the longest hang time in the Power 5 by a significant margin last season, handled kickoffs in college, and was an All-Big Ten selection and national champion with Michigan. Unless Dolman completely falls apart in camp, Wisnowski is gone. Macaulay Harmon rounds out the list as a returner who muffed a punt and did not provide enough on offense to justify a roster spot purely on special teams contributions. When Ray Davis, Skylar Bell, and Max Tomczak all represent viable alternatives for return duties while contributing more in other phases, keeping Harmon just to field punts does not make organizational sense. Drop your prediction in the comments for which Bills player gets cut first. 3 weeks until training camp, Bills Mafia. Let us go Buffalo.